Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. That's my email address. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email concierge for asking questions about the price of this or any watch. Reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today we're discussing a 2019 model year release, a 200-piece limited edition series from Audemars Piguet. This is the white gold Audemars Piguet Royal Oak frosted gold self-winding chronograph, part of the 41mm chronograph family. This watch features an extravagant galvanized purple Grande Tapisserie dial, frosted white gold case, and bezel to match. The timepiece is 41mm in diameter, exactly 11mm thick from lug tip to lug tip. You can see it's 51.5mm, but if we include these intermediate links that extend the rigid width of the watch, it's actually 53.8mm all the way across the wrist because you can't pull the bracelet straight down. We'll throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, and we'll get a look at it, and it wears well, and it's comfortable, and there's no doubt that I could wear this watch on my wrist, but I would recommend that you not wear the watch on a wrist smaller than 15 centimeters circumference. It is low, and it has a sloped bezel, so it'll slide underneath the cuff, but something this spectacular probably isn't intended to be disappeared underneath your sleeve. But again, 15 centimeters circumference wrist or larger. It's got an immense weight to it. It's very satisfying. Taking a look at the bracelet, it's exactly what you would expect from a Royal Oak, which is to say extensively hand-finished. But remember, a standard Royal Oak bracelet with satination, polishing, beveling, all of that takes 9 to 11 hours to finish. When you add this unique Florentine-style chiseling, you add to the production time immensely. Now, what actually happens here is the artisan uses a very small drill bit to create infinitely diverse chiseled patterns on all the metal surfaces, so no two of the 200 pieces will be exactly alike. It has a wonderful soft glow to it that's very different from satination or polish. The system, of course, devised by Carolina Bucchi, a Florentine jeweler, adopted by Audemars Piguet, and you can see it on a few select models, none of which are more dramatic than what I have here. You can actually see the little polished faces at the end of the intermediate plots. There's a lot of attention to detail. Note we have the frosted or chiseled top, we have satin recesses between the links, then we have polished outer bevels and vertical satin on the side. You can also see removable links in this bracelet are fixed by screws, so it's not a pin sleeve setup like you'll find on a Patek bracelet, for example. We have a double folding clasp. It's a sequential close. It is a twin trigger release. One side closes, then the other side closes, and that has the AP logo on it. You can see internally the clasp is media blasted and satin finished, and the clasp is quite redoubtable. It's solid. The system for fixing the bracelet to the case is exactly what I would like to see. Screws and bars, more secure than spring bars, and highly recommended on large expensive watches like this. Now you can see the case is beautifully executed with a combination of polish, chiseling, and then satination. You'll note that the character line of the bezel continues unbroken through the mid-case and the case back. It's a three-piece case, bezel, mid-case, and case back. This is the post-2017 version of the Royal Oak Chronograph 41, meaning we have a smaller constant seconds register on the dial, and though these appear to be screw-down chronograph pushers, they're actually just shoulders to brace the pushers. You don't have to actually screw them out or screw them in. The watch is still 50 meters water resistant. The primary crown screws down, but you always have access to the chronograph because the pushers are always unlocked. As you can see, there's a lot of faceting on the case flank, all of it executed by hand. This is not just about the craft of chiseling, it's also about the faceting, the satination, the polish. All of this is done manually. The bezel, originally created by designer Gerald Genta in 1972 for the Royal Oak 5402, he took inspiration from a vintage diving helmet. That's where this bezel comes from. You can see it's satinated, it's polished, and then it's chiseled on top. The hexagonal bolts inside are all white gold, and you can see that the same hexagonal shape is used for the crown as well as the shoulders of the chronograph pushers. The dial includes applique indices and AP logo. We have silver sub-registers. We have larger registers for chronograph hours and chronograph minutes. You can see they have a metallic pattern outboard, and then their centers are an azurage or concentric pattern. The dial is the Grande Tapisserie. The Petite Tapisserie is on the Jumbo, the Grande Tapisserie is on this and the other 41s, and then the Mega Tapisserie is on the offshore. The Petite and the Grand are pantograph cut. The Mega is stamped. So if you get very close to this dial, you can see that there are 20,000 or more little bumps and textural features, so it's much more complex than just the hobnail itself. Now we will do a loom shot here. The watch is well loomed, and with a screw-down crown and 50 meters water resistance, it's sufficient for surface swimming, but you don't want deep submergence. Now, as you can see, the case back declares this to be one of 200 pieces, and underneath the solid gold case back, there is the AP caliber 2385. So what that is a Frédéric Piguet 1185, more or less in Blancpain spec, which is to say it's a Blancpain exclusive movement that's occasionally sold to others. It's been used by many, including Vacheron and Audemars Piguet, Breguet, and others. So this is an automatic winding movement with unidirectional winding action. It has a 40-hour power reserve, pivots on 37 joules. It's adjusted in 5 positions. It beats away at 21,600 vibrations per hour. It features a quick set for the date, but not hacking seconds. And then it has a crisp column wheel for actuating the chronograph. And then it features a vertical clutch system, so if you look carefully, you can see when the chronograph starts, there's no stagger or jump. It moves, but it doesn't jump the way a lateral clutch would, so there's a lot to love. And though you may wonder, what does the movement look like? I can assure you it is nicely finished, as the Frédéric Piguet is a handsomely executed movement. Blancpain standards are pretty high after all. So reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.